So here it is, the Moyu Aofu WRM. This is not an unboxing, this is a review. I've just got the box to show the unboxing experience and what it's like. So you get this box with, of course you get a box, and you get this, it's sort of like shiny text font and stuff. I really like this box. I like collecting cute boxes, so this is like heaven for me. I'm just opening this up, putting that aside. So you get this minimalistic packaging design, which I really prefer. You get the cube, of course, and you get an accessories box, as you can see over here. There we go. Which you can open to get a screwdriver and a pamphlet with the images of random people, and also like instructions on how to solve a 7x7. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get to the cube. So this is the Moyu Aofu WRM, and it's amazing, but they're not for everyone, like not particularly for everyone, because so there are many things about it. First of all, let's talk about what's good about this cube. So firstly, the size. Like, the size is small, and at first it'll seem like it'll take a lot of time to get used to, but it's adaptable. It's not that hard to get used to, even if you have big hands. I've heard many reviews about it, and people have gotten used to this size pretty easily. But the size is also a negative point, which I'll talk about later. So, and the size, I think there's also been the Aofu V5 that has been released quite recently, and I think that's a little bit more people will not prefer the size, but this is a lot more adaptable. Not for everyone, but it's a lot more, like, less risky to get this size than the Aofu V5 if you have no idea about 7x7s and you want to get a flagship 7x7, but want to get a safe bet in terms of what size you will prefer. And this one is quite great, but some people might not like the size, so definitely factor that in. So, okay, I said the negative point already here. Now, another positive point is the weight. The weight is quite lightweight. It's really good, and I really like the weight. It feels very compact too, and feels really stable in your hands, but doesn't tire you out. So that's quite good. And the outer layers, oh my god, those are just a joy to solve. When I get to 3x3 stage, I'm like, I can't put it into words how happy I get. So 3x3 stage is really enjoyable on this thing, and it comes quite fast out of the box. I ordered a sort of angstrom setup with DNM 37 angstrom gravitas and angstrom dignitas, so that is also something to factor that in. I didn't get the stock settings, but this felt amazing out of the box, and I've heard a lot that this feels like really good out of the box, and that's what I felt. But that's actually quite a good thing, because you want your cube to have a good feeling out of the box. To many people who don't set up their cubes, but for big cubes, I really recommend setting them up with one lubricant. If you don't want to change the settings in terms of speed or stability, that's fine, but you gotta put lube in it, because it keeps your cube clean for a longer time, and you actually need to keep your cube clean, because if a big cube gets dirty quickly, then cleaning it takes a very long time, and yeah, that's just not what you want to do. So adding lubricant is really recommended, and after a while you will also have to take it apart, so that is quite risky for beginners, so that's not actually quite good. And the pieces for this are quite small, but it has quite durable plastic, so it's quite on the middle side for durability overall. Of course, I'm not going to test it, because why would I? I don't want to get a 7x7 broken. So I didn't order the YJ-MGC. First of all, it's huge nowadays. It's considered huge. Crazy. And then also, it had a lot of breaking problems. I know that. Because the problem is my MGC 5x5, which I've been using and I loved, and I really enjoyed solving on it. It broke. And it's somewhere in a bag, like just with the broken pieces. So that's sad. But this one feels like it'll last quite a longer time, but I can't tell much about that. But I've heard more about the MGC breaking than the Aofu breaking, so yeah, it's feeling quite promising. So that's good. And now let's get to the negative points. So negative points, just one thing, weak magnets. Well, no, it doesn't have weak magnets, not at all. But it is considered weak nowadays compared to other 7x7s. But it allows for, if you have a little accurate turning, it can allow for quite a bit of speed, which is quite nice, and a nice bit of stability. Just have a little bit of accuracy. Don't turn it too roughly, and it'll be great. It's really easy to get used to. You can replace the magnets, but that's not really recommended for beginners if you haven't tried modding anytime before. So you really need experience in modding, which like most people can't mod Rubik's Cube, including me. So that's one thing, but I think the magnets are quite adaptable. It's the weak points, it has quite a lot of them, like 2 of them, weak magnets in size, but they're adaptable. And once you adapt to the weak magnets in small size, it's gonna feel great. Not for everybody, but that's usually what everybody says, and I sort of agree. I really agree on that. This feels absolutely amazing. Look at that. Okay, I can turn really fast on 3x3 stage on this. And one more thing. While doing edge perms, I hold these 4 or 3 layers. And it still goes through on the entire alg. And I don't know how, but these 2 layers are attached really closely. Like with the magnets, they're really strongly connected. So that is quite good for M slices for 3x3 stage. Like I'm holding this. Look, 3 layers. Really good. That's a really good thing. So that's also amazing. So look at this. The outer layer magnets are like quite average. Second layer, a little stronger, definitely. It's you can feel it a lot. And third layer, I'd say they're quite equal to the second layer, maybe a tiny bit stronger, but it's not that noticeable, and it doesn't matter much because it's quite sufficient in my opinion. And also, one more thing, the sticker shades, they're quite a bit darker than usual. The green is quite dark, and blue and red, those are probably the darkest colors. The green has quite a bit of darker shades above all my other cubes, especially the MGC6. It's quite a bit darker. Orange is a little bit darker, and yeah, it has a nice contrast with the colors. And also, it's not frosted. It's more like in the middle of glossy and frosted, leaning a tiny bit to the frosted side. I don't really care about the plastic, but if you do care about it, definitely factor that in. So that's it for the review.